In this podcast, we're going to learn how to distinguish forms of arguments, because in the next podcast, we're actually going to see what are the valid forms of deductive argumentation. So as we've already seen, there are two ways that deductive arguments are evaluated: by looking at the form of the argument without considering whether anything the argument states is true, and then by looking at the premises of the argument and asking whether they are in fact true. Now, why the form of the argument? Well, an argument cannot be sound unless it's valid. What this means is that it doesn't matter whether all of the premises are true if the argument isn't valid. Only when the argument is valid does the conclusion follow from the premises. When we ask whether an argument is valid, we assume the premises are true. Another way of looking at what we're doing here is that we're actually just ignoring what the premises actually say. We see how the premises relate to one another rather than what they express. So look at the following argument. We have premise 1 saying, I am hungry, and premise 2 saying that if I am hungry, then I must get some food to eat. The conclusion then is I must get some food to eat. Now, how many independent statements are represented here? We have two. What are they? The first is I am hungry, and the second is I must get some food to eat. Now we can remove these statements from the argument and replace them with blanks. What do we have then? Well, we have premise 1, blank, premise 2, if blank, then blank, conclusion, blank. We now have a kind of form of the argument. But wait, how do we account for the fact that there are two independent statements in the argument? We have only blanks in the argument now. There needs to be a way to distinguish the two different statements in the purely formalized argument. So, we can replace the blanks with capital letters. Each independent statement gets its own letter. So now we have premise 1, P, premise 2, if P then Q, conclusion, therefore Q. Notice that the statements don't get new letters and new premises. So we have I am hungry in premise 1, and we have I am hungry in the first part of premise 2, and they're both represented by the capital letter P. They keep all of their letters all the way through. So now the argument, premise 1, I am hungry, premise 2, if I'm hungry, then I must get some food to eat, conclusion, therefore I must get some food to eat, we can see has the form premise 1, P, premise 2, if P then Q, conclusion, therefore Q.